Hey, what's going on, everyone? I hope you had a good weekend. Just got back from a pretty awesome vacation with my wife and my son. We went about 2 hours to the northeast of where we live here, just to kind of get away. My son's obsessed with redwood trees, so tried to go check some out. And when I was getting ready for the trip, I was kind of going over some of my knives. Like obviously, like I brought my Smith & Wesson 340 PD, so my trusty 357 mag. But now that I've gotten more into knives, or back into knives, I should say, it's always a challenge to figure out which one to bring with me. And I feel like, during the work week, or, when I pick out a knife to test out, it's usually the one that I'm testing out. So it's an easy decision for which knife I'm going to bring. But for this trip, I was like, all right, I want to get down to like one knife. And I didn't, of course. I ended up bringing three, but I just wanted to go over which three that I brought with me based on my collection, and kind of what went into my calculus for deciding which one to bring. And yeah, the first one that definitely made the list was the Spyderco Shamans. This is the second one that I have. This one's all in DLC, and the other one that I have is actually a crew wear, but this is an S30V, which honestly, guys, like just the more and more I carry this Spyderco Shaman, the more I become more and more obsessed with it and kind of its abilities. I know, in my collection, I have a lot of higher end knives, or ones that are kind of not one-offs, but things that you spend a lot of money for. But I keep coming back to these. So if you don't have a Shaman in your collection, definitely pick one up. They're pretty easy to come by depending on what configuration you get them in. But I honestly, I love this for an all-around knife. It's not a knife that I feel bad about opening a package with, doing whittling here and there, anything that needs to be opened. Some of my knives, like, when I get into my Shiros or my Curtis or my Strider, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to, dull the edge on this. But this one, I mean, all around, I mean, super great. Couldn't have been happier. It did a great job. So that was my number one knife that I took with me. The next one, just because, based on setting, and I'll post a picture of where we were at. It was absolutely beautiful, like this, A-frame right in the redwoods. But the other one was this Berg Iron Wolf, which I haven't spent too much time with it, but I absolutely love this knife. Like again, this is made by WE Knives, so made in China, but absolutely love this thing. And the one thing that I did notice is the more that I fired it or played with it, the pivot did kind of loosen up on me, but I did end up getting some blue Loctite, which I'm gonna apply here in a little bit. But couldn't be happier with this knife. I really think all around, if you had one knife, this could definitely be it. The Berg Iron Wolf is awesome, and actually I'm gonna be sending this out to one of my buddies, Devin. You should check him out. His YouTube is Everett13. But we're going to start, trading a few knives, reviewing, giving our opinions of things. So that'll be really cool. But I'm really excited for him to see this knife, because I think it really is a game changer for me. As far as the one knife to rule them all, this could be it. It's just unfortunate that I'm obsessed with knives, so I have other ones. The last knife, again, only brought three with me, that I brought with me, was this Benchmade Bug Out. This one's an M390, and I really do love it. It's super small, super lightweight. I love the fidget factor of this knife. I haven't gotten to review either of my Bug Outs, but historically I don't know if you ask my neighbor, I've been anti-Benchmade, but I don't know. I don't know how true that is. I just found other knives that I liked better, but I am really impressed with the Bug Out for what it is. I think, in a small package, great steel, pretty cheap price, and I love the fidget factor of this knife, and this was one of those smaller, quick ones, whether we took a day trip to one of the breweries out there or whatever, this one was definitely in my pocket, and I love the idea that I can flick it with my pointer finger. So again, this is not running on bearings or anything, it's definitely on washers, but I love how flicky it is like that. The return with the axis lock is actually really nice. Some of the other ones I find kind of bounce a little bit, but the Bug Out, the blade the weight is so light that you don't really get a lot of that bounce, and I like that I can fire it with either my my pointer finger or my thumb, which that was huge for me. Like I love flicking this thing with my thumb. Like I would be sitting there just flicking it over and over again. Super sharp, and again, this knife for the price, you really don't feel bad about dulling it or kind of beating it up. So out of all the knives in my collection, those are the three that made it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to reviewing some more knives here coming up. I have a couple in the mail, actually. I was able to get a Lone Wolf Harsey. Got it off eBay. I think I got a pretty good deal on it, but you know, I'm really excited to kind of continue my Lone Wolf collection, and I have that one as well as a Longhorn to review. So very excited about that. I also ended up picking up two McNees. So I got one in 3.5 in Magnacut, and then another one that's a 3-inch. I think it's in 20 CV. I'm not too sure. I got it for a great deal. Yeah, super excited for the reviews that are upcoming. I also just got a new studio space. So one of the buildings on my property, my wife and I just finished. She's a photographer, so she's going to be using that as studio space, but guess what, so am I, because I put the work in as well to get it up to snuff. So really excited for what's to come. Appreciate y'all tuning in, and hope you have a great week.